Hey, everybody, and welcome to the Super 80s Podcast Friend. We are a TV theme song explorer. We have one mission, and that is to analyze every single TV theme song from the 1980s. Every single genre. We're going to analyze soap operas. We're going to analyze cartoons. We're going to analyze sitcoms. You name it. It's fair game for us. I am John. To the left of me.
Hi, John. I'm Ryan.
Hey, Ryan.
Hey, I'm Peter.
And we are happy to have you here. Hey, just a quick reminder, you can find us on the social medias. We are available now officially, thanks to Ryan, on
Instagram.
How was it getting us on the Instagram?
It was simple. Simple. It only took me a couple days.
We're high-tech guys. We are on Instagram. We are on Facebook. You can also email us. We are available at super80spodcastfriend@gmail.com. The 8 and the 0 are not spelled out. super80spodcastfriend@gmail.com. So today we usually start out by catching up, but we also have a recent section called Retractions, where we backpedal on things we said in previous episodes. And our last episode was Three's Company. Fellas, any retractions from our Three's Company episode?
I can't even remember doing it.
There was that whole towel thing, but I regret nothing.
Okay, so then, Couts, if we could sing the No Retraction song. Here we go.
No retractions.
All right, very good. So no retractions, but I did think it might be fun if we don't have retractions to have like an idea after thinking about the show for a week. And I thought we could call this Ideas About Last Week's Podcast Episode. We'll sing it.
Ideas about last week's podcast episode.
So, Pete,
That was wonderful.
thank you. Here's what I was thinking. I was thinking about the episode, and I was thinking about how ridiculous it was that the singer of the Three's Company song was a guy named Ray Charles, who wasn't the Ray Charles. And now
Who went by Ray Charles.
who went by Ray Charles.
He could have gone by a different name.
So
Raymond.
Right. So here's my idea. My idea, and this involves listener participation. If one of you listeners could take the Three's Company theme and have it sung through AI by Ray Charles and send that audio clip to us. Now, this is no rush. I don't know much about how that stuff works, but I know people can do this. So if you could get us the Three's Company theme song sung in the voice of the, no offense to the other Ray Charles, the Ray Charles.
And in my head, I feel like the Ray Charles would make it awesome. It would be like silky smooth, and it would be awesome.
It's a great song.
Correct.
All right. So that's our little, whatever the name of that section was.
It would be like a 3-minute song, though, if Ray did it, because he'd slow it down. It'd be a sexy number.
I look forward to it. Listeners, help us out. All right. Before we get started, we always start out with a brewski, and we like to share what we're having because we're hoping to get a sponsor. Ryan, do you know what you're drinking? I poured it for you.
I don't. I think it's Daisy Cutter.
It's a Daisy Cutter. We've got Illinois on the map today. Daisy Cutter is made by the Half Acre Brewing Company in Chicago. Pete.
Anti-Hero by Revolution. Am I saying that backwards?
You got it right.
Yes.
Also in Chicago. One of my favorite beers in the world. I am also drinking an Anti-Hero. So us Wisco fellas are drinking a bunch of Fib beer today. For you international listeners.
Fine Illinois beers.
Mm-hmm.
Fib means fine Illinois beer.
Indeed, they've got it 100% right.
Before we get to the madness that is our show, anything else to report, guys?
Well, it's Olympics time.
Right, and by the time that people listen to this, it won't be.
It's the amazing thing of the internet.
We try to be as live as possible, but we've got a busy August.
So, what are your fellas' takes on the Olympics and specifically the Summer Olympics? Are you watching it?
I watched some, and there was a lot of sports I don't understand and I don't think I'd ever seen before, so that was fun.
I'm obsessed with the Olympics, and my productivity goes down significantly, summer or winter. I'm really, really into the Olympics.
One of the things I knew that about you, but one of the things that I can't seem to understand are these eclectic sports that they have. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but breakdancing is a sport.
It is.
Are they 40 years too late on that?
We are an 80s podcast. It seemed like the LA 84 games would have been prime time.
When I read this, and then I had to go to the internets to confirm it, and I thought, is this the 2024 games or the 1984 games, right? Like,
fantastic thing you bring up there.
and I feel that it's, there's just something missing.
I mean, I think that's a fair point. Yeah, I haven't watched much of the breakdancing. I've been spending most of my time watching field hockey, but it's
that's not a lie.
I know I like watching field hockey and the triathlon. Anyway, but yes, if for those of you who watched the Olympics just a week or two ago, hope you enjoyed those. Let us know if you watched breakdancing and if you agree with Ryan that it may have been a better fit in 1984 Los Angeles.
Would it have been international in 1984, though?
Was it? Yeah, that's a great question.
USA versus USA.
Nobody else was breaking.
The Russians definitely weren't breaking in 84.
They probably weren't. Oh, we'll have to. If you were breakdancing in 1984, international listeners, let us know. By the way, we do have some Russian listeners. So hello out there to our Russian listeners and Finnish in the Netherlands and Singapore.
Thank you all for listening.
Thanks for we can't believe it. It kind of blows my mind that anybody outside of our general social circle is listening. So to all of you folks, whether you're in Texas or Singapore or the Netherlands or Finland, thanks for tuning in. If this is your first time listening and you're still listening at this point, that's insane because this has been some pretty ridiculous podcasting. But let me tell you about how this show actually works. We have a robot. His name is Conky. And Conky spits out a song for us, and he lets us know what we're going to be analyzing. Now, sometimes we do Conky will give us small hints, and if you follow us on the socials, Conky will give hints before the episode airs. So if you have any comments or questions, feel free to talk to us on the socials. We'll send it on to Conky because he can be influenced. And sometimes he gives us some info early. But Conky the robot, who used to belong to Pee Wee Herman, is about to tell us what this week's theme is going to be. We're going to share our memories about it. We're going to hum the song. We're going to share some facts, and then we're going to give it a couple listens. So, without further ado, from Pee Wee's Playhouse, it is Conky the robot.
Ready to assist you, Pee Wee.
Morning, Conky. What's today's secret word?
Today's secret word is the Smurfs.
Oh, man.
Smurfs are weird.
Smurfs.
Oh, my
Conky.
goodness. If you're not familiar, the Smurfs was a cartoon, and they're blue little creatures. And let's share some memories before Engineer Pete talks to us a little bit about some facts on the Smurfs. What do you guys remember about the Smurfs? What do we got?
Boy, Saturday morning cartoon. I had no interest in it. Zero.
Oh, okay.
0% interest in the Smurfs.
Fascinating.
Yeah. Boring.
Wow.
Yep.
Wow.
Boring. That's my memory.
I remember much like the Seven Dwarfs, most of the characters' names were their personalities.
Oh, yeah.
And I also remember I had a record called the Smurfs All-Star Show.
Wow.
Also had the Smurfs All-Star Show. It's a great record. I was a big fan. I really was. I loved the show, The Smurfs. I remember having a plush Papa Smurf.
Really?
Yeah. I remember reading the little books. I remember picking those up at the local Walgreens or wherever you could buy cheap books.
So you were into the Smurfs.
I was into the Smurfs.
Did you watch the Smurfs?
Religiously.
Oh, my. Wow.
Yeah. I was a big fan. I remember, for those of you who remember, there were these little rubber figurines you could buy.
Yeah.
at your local store that sold that type of stuff. So I remember buying the little rubber figurines. I remember having a brainy Smurf, and so yeah, I was deep into the Smurfs. Big fan.
Would the figurines ever have been Happy Meal toys?
Probably. It sounds likely. Yeah.
That seems like something I wouldn't have bought, but perhaps would have gotten
So you
through that chain.
you remember some in your home?
Yes.
Were you a viewer as well, Pete?
Yes.
Okay.
It doesn't sound like I was as into it as John was.
I mean, I don't want to paint myself as a Turbo fan, but yeah, I really, really liked the Smurfs. I dug them. So I remember a lot of the characters. I remember Gargamel and Azrael. I remember Johann and Pee-wee, I believe were their names. Some side characters. I remember their mushroom homes. And like Pete said, their names were always typically associated with their personality traits. So, yeah.
I like that.
It's weird that their mother knew when they were born exactly what they're going to grow up to be.
Mother's intuition. Smurf intuition.
Smurfs can... Is that premonition? Smurfs have premonitions when they're born. I will name you Brainy. Anybody here who can hum the song? I know it, so it's not fair for me.
I couldn't, even if I tried, I couldn't. I have no idea if it has words, if it's all instrumental.
You're in for a treat.
All I've got is la 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 la.
La 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 la. It's a catchy little ditty. This is an interesting song, and this may be a divisive one among our listeners. It's that type of tune. The Smurfs in general, I think, are rather divisive. Pete, why don't you lay some facts on us, and we'll dive in.
Okay, it's a Saturday morning cartoon that aired 256 episodes from September of 81 to December of 89.
Okay.
Solid run.
Yep.
Yeah. That made it one of the most successful and longest-running Saturday morning cartoons in television history. It was produced by Hanna-Barbera, based on a Belgian comic series of the same name.
Interesting.
Characters included, we already kind of went through Papa Smurf, Smurfette, Brainy Smurf, Gargamel, Azrael, and then you had Johann and...
Pee-wee, maybe?
Yeah, I didn't get any notes on that. I didn't remember those characters at all. But basically, it's stories about magical blue creatures living in mushroom houses who must defend themselves against an evil wizard named Gargamel.
He's a wizard.
Yes, casting spells and things.
Okay.
And occasionally, the Smurfs had to save Gargamel from more evil wizards. So even though he was their nemesis, they still, they tried to do good.
Now, I have a quick
Smurf world.
I have a side question before you continue, Pete. I did mention we teased a little bit about what Conky might be giving us today, and Tom from Illinois asked this question. Did Gargamel regularly eat the Smurfs?
I don't think he did, but that was one of his goals.
So he did want to eat them.
He wanted to do a few things.
I feel like...
I shouldn't leave that so open. It sounds inappropriate. Eat them, enslave them.
Oh, man.
Not that that's more appropriate than... I'm just going to stop.
Didn't he always have like a big pot brewing?
It's a cauldron. It was potions.
Yeah.
He's trying to cast spells and stuff.
And then he wanted to throw them in there. I always feel like he wanted to throw them in and make soup.
Oh, ingredients? Oh, soup.
Yeah.
And then
Smurf soup.
Our listener Tom's follow-up question, and again, thanks for the question, Tom, was why was he eating them strictly for nutritional value? Because he was hungry? Was it sadistic? Was there some sort of special thing that came from eating the Smurfs?
So it sounds like Gargamel and the Smurfs were both magic to a certain level, and I think he was trying to harness some powers from them.
All right. Well, as we've mentioned, we are not experts, and
I could be lying.
And we'll probably get a lot of things wrong, which is kind of our MO. But so, Pete, sorry to interrupt, but it seemed like a good time for Tom's question.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And I was out of facts about the show, so that was a perfect segue, had you only known. I have a couple song facts.
Let's do that, and then we'll dive in. So let's hear about this theme song.
It was written by Hoyn Curntyn, who was the primary music director for Hanna-Barbera. And Curntyn also wrote the theme songs to the Flintstones, the Jetsons, Johnny Quest, Super Friends, and others.
Holy shit. Now, we don't have to go on a huge tangent here, but I really liked Hanna-Barbera cartoons.
Absolutely.
Yogi, the Flintstones, the Jetsons,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, absolutely.
And this guy, so the guy's got a pedigree of writing some catchy children's tunes. He wrote the Flintstones theme and the Jetsons.
He was the primary music director.
That's gold.
And he had a gold name. Hoyn Curntyn?
It rolls off the tongue.
Larry Dallas.
You know who we need for this project? We're bringing in Hoyt. We're bringing in Hoyn Curntyn. Get him on the line. Like,
Clearly not a stage name. And the other fact is, one other fact is non-American markets had a different theme song than what the U.S. market did.
oh, interesting.
Well, I will once again say, international listeners, if you grew up with the Smurfs and this is a different song, what a treat we have for you today. You get to hear the
Or
Hoyt
infuriating.
Lantern. What was his name?
Hoyn Curntyn.
Hoyt. That's hard for me to say. I want to throw it. Hoyn Curntyn. Hoyt Curntyn.
Hoyt.
Hoyn Curntyn. I threw two N's in. Have I forgotten anything on this episode? Or are we ready for the music?
I think we'd be ready for the music.
All
at
right.
this
So,
point.
again, we are going to listen. We'll pause regularly. Our first listen is all about the music and the lyrics. Does anybody have the lyrics pulled up?
There's lyrics?
Not experts. We are going to, because typically, again, if you've listened in the past, we mishear a lot on this show. So Ryan's going to try to find the lyrics, but let's dive on in. Ladies and gentlemen, Hoyt Curntyn presents the theme song from the 1981 to 1987-ish show, The Smurfs. That's like that type. What would we call that type of intro? Is it Star Wars-y?
Yeah, I don't know. It's
I would say maybe Disney-esque.
That's better. Yeah, it sounds like we're about to go on some sort of adventure.
yeah, exactly. A journey awaits us.
It's about to go downhill. Maybe.
Sing a happy song. Smurf the whole day long.
Okay.
Oh my word.
La 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 la.
Sing a happy song.
La 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 la.
Smurf your whole day long.
So they use Smurf for most verbs and nouns.
Exactly.
Now, we had another listener comment on this on our Facebook page. Kelly from Wisconsin. Kelly from New Holstein, Wisconsin.
Oh.
Said that when she was young, she and her friends liked pretending the word Smurf would mean things like the F word. And it made, as she got older, it made the show a lot more entertaining. So, Kelly, thanks for sharing that with us. So, listeners, when you hear the word Smurf, maybe throw in a swear word of your choice or something gross.
It's quite clever, actually, and not too far off what the lyricist had in mind.
So, Hoyt, he's a dirty dog. So far, it's sing a happy song.
Smurf your whole day long.
Kelly's comment makes that much more fun.
Smurf along with me. Simple as can be.
Now, who is that speaking?
That was Papa Smurf.
That's Papa.
Now, I'm not an expert at voices, but I would put $50 that's the same guy who does the voice of Ranger Smith in Yogi Bear's First Christmas. It's also a Hanna-Barbera
Yep.
joint. It sounds just like Ranger Smith.
I think you're onto something there. And even if you're not, you are.
And what were those lyrics, Ryan? This is good stuff.
La la, la 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 la. Simple as can be. Smurf along with me. La 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 la. Oh boy.
Simple as can be. Smurf along with me.
I think so.
Actually, I
Okay.
think you have that backwards.
I think it's
I think it
backwards.
was
It's
Papa
Smurf along
first.
with me first, and then it's la 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 la. Simple as can be.
Okay. Keep it rolling.
Next time the people just laugh and smile. I hate smile.
So first of all, I have no idea what was said until either Grumpy Smurf or Krabby Smurf said, "I hate smiling."
Yeah.
And I remember
about what
people
I
wearing
picked up.
T-shirts like that you could get like at Kmart, and it had Grumpy Smurf or Krabby Smurf, and it said, "I hate smiling." What was before that?
Next time you're feeling blue, just let a smile begin.
What the hell is this song about?
I have no idea.
When we get to the end, would you read the whole thing for us?
Sure.
Okay.
Boy, oh boy.
This is great.
Because they're technically always feeling blue.
That's what I don't understand.
That's a good joke.
Happy things will come to you.
So smurf yourself a grin.
Oh my.
Smurfette.
Smurf yourself a grin?
Smurf yourself a grin.
Yeah.
She's got a real rasp to her.
Yeah.
Smurf yourself a grin.
Yeah. Exactly.
She sounds like George Costanza's mom.
George.
Smurf yourself a grin. Okay. So just setting the stage. So we're not watching, if you're new to this, we don't watch the first time. Things are becoming ominous.
It's well put because in the lyrics it says ominous Gargamel music.
So the evil wizard is about to make his appearance in the theme. Okay.
Ooh, I hate Smurfs.
That's the end of the ominous part.
Yeah.
Ooh, I hate Smurfs.
Boy. And is the cats in there? Was there a cat meow in there somewhere?
Yeah, that was Azrael.
Okay. That's it. That's all I got.
So far in what we've discussed, I am amazed that this went as many episodes as it did. Because it seems like the material might be thin.
How do you do over 200 episodes? This is no Love Boat. Keep it coming.
Now you know the tune. You'll be Smurfing soon.
I know we're almost done, but could you read us? I didn't catch the lyrics. This is horrible.
La 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 la. Now you know the tune.
Yes, we do.
And then you'll be smurfing soon.
Well, again, if we go back to the Kelly's lyrics,
Kelly was onto something. quick.
beats watching the Smurfs.
Exactly.
All right, wrap it up. Okay. Well, that's maybe not Hoyn.
You got it.
That's not Hoyn's finest hour. Hoyn. If Hoyn really did write the Jetsons and the Flintstones, this is. They can't all be winners.
This is not on his greatest hits album.
This is not. Now, speaking of, the Smurfs were a cultural phenomenon worldwide, and they had records out. Now, I remember listening to that record with my family at our house on vinyl. There was one song, the Smurf Parade, and that mentioned having Smurfburgers and chips, Smurfing sodas, fancy dips. People liked this.
As I said at the very beginning, I never understood it. I don't get it.
Ryan, could you read us the lyrics, but ditch all the la-las? I think this is going to be a quick poem.
That's hard to do. Let me just start by saying it's hard to ditch the la-la.
So here's what we just heard, team.
Sing a happy song. Smurf your whole day long. Smurf along with me. Simple as can be. Next time you're feeling blue, just let a smile begin. Happy things will come to you, so smurf yourself a grin. Oh, I hate Smurfs. I'll get you. If it's the last thing I ever do. Now you know the tune. You'll be smurfing soon.
That's great.
Wow.
Yeah. So, there you have it, folks. Those are the lyrics and the music to this. It's not. I will say, It is catchy.
Sure.
It sticks in your brain.
The La-Las make it.
The La-Las really do make it.
The La-Las make it, in my opinion.
It's there's not. It's not. You can understand why kids would be engaged with this crappy song.
For sure.
Absolutely.
Well, I'm ready to look because maybe watching this will give me a more sympathetic and passionate view of this total garbage 80s theme song. So we are going to reveal the screen and let's take a look. We will walk you through what we're seeing. Okay. So if you're watching along, that's Johan and Pee-wee right there in the foreground.
Okay, yeah, so
They're
explain to me who they are.
The clip clopping that you hear is them riding horses.
I don't remember who they were. I remember I didn't enjoy when they were on the show.
Okay.
Okay.
Is this supposed to take place in like the Forest of Nottingham, like
Yeah,
Robin Hood times?
I'm picturing
Say
Robin Hood.
medieval.
Yeah.
Medieval era.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now hold on a second there. Did you see how big that squirrel was compared to the Smurf?
Oh, they're like thumb sized.
Really?
They're little.
Very little.
I think you might see Gargamel messing with them. You might get some, what do you call that?
Scale.
Scale.
Thanks.
This is why they have an engineer.
Engineer Pete to the rescue. So we're looking at their architecture. They're obviously talented builders. You've got a mushroom for the top of a house, and there's some wooden shutters, so they obviously can work with tools of some sort. So talented little critters.
But so like a mushroom in your backyard, right? If you see a mushroom, that could be a Smurf house.
Don't mow it over with your lawnmower.
Yeah. Okay.
It'll just die in a week anyways.
Smurf along with me.
There's Papa.
There's hydroelectric shit going on here.
Oh, yeah.
They got a dam. I remember the dam.
Yeah.
And there's a cake baker here. I forgot his name.
Baker Smurf?
Sounds good.
Smurf Baker?
Simple as can be.
Well, hold on. Who's the guy with the glasses?
Brainy.
Brainy.
He was a dick.
Mm.
People, yeah, I think he was the village dick.
He was the know-it-all of
Yes.
the... Okay.
Next time the beat just laugh and smile.
I hate smiles.
Happy
That was asshole Smurf. Now, this is where it gets a little weird, and we got Christine, also from Wisconsin, sent in a couple of questions. And the reason I say this is we're looking at Smurfette. So, Christine, thanks for sending in some questions. And Christine wrote, "Why is Smurfette the only chick?"
Well, that's a great question.
She had some follow-up questions to that as well. How did Papa Smurf get all these kids? Where's Mama Smurf? Maybe in Gargamel's belly.
It's possible.
But Smurf, yeah, so Smurfette, probably widely known as the only female Smurf, which is a little bizarre.
I think in the 256 episodes, they might have had a few other, like 3 females.
Guest females.
Boy, oh boy.
Dipped in and out.
Let's hear George Costanza's mom.
will come to you.
So Smurf yourself a grin.
Now, are there hats that they're wearing?
Yes.
They're hats. Do they ever take them off?
I don't recall ever seeing a hatless Smurf.
I agree.
That's interesting. Where do they get their pajamas?
I don't know.
All right.
Smurf Internet.
We're looking at a dragon, by the way, which is just seems ridiculous. All right. There's a dragon. Blowing fire. There's Johan and Pee-wee. Maybe that's their names.
Ooh, I hate Smurfs.
So we see Gargamel. Did the Smurfs have a fire hose? What are they carrying there?
It looks like a fire hose.
Okay.
Oh, he's tripping. Oh, right on the cat. Oh, they got him tied up. They got him tied up.
I like that the song gets really cheerful, and they're all in a circle around Gargamel and Azrael, who are tied somehow to the ground of Smurfville.
Like staked down, like they're going to get some medieval execution.
Yes, yeah, they're going to be drawn and quartered, and what's that called when you pull people's guts out?
I don't know.
Disemboweled?
Yes, thanks, Pete.
Yeah.
That's why I have an engineer.
That's why we have an engineer.
This looks like something the Ewoks did.
It does. It does. This is pre-walk. No, maybe not.
About the same time.
Same time.
Yeah. An Ewok ritual.
Well, George Lucas and the creator of the Smurfs, who went by the name Peyo,
I think so, yeah.
maybe they're pals.
Trumpet Smurf?
They just throw a potato in his horn?
I have no idea what that is.
They were not fans.
Either a
It looked like
potato
it was a potato or a rock.
or a turd.
And they have a whole band here.
They were well known for their musical prowess, the Smurfs.
Directed by,
Peyo, Pew.
created by Peyo.
Well, that's two listens through the Smurfs, the legendary animated hit that aired on Saturday mornings here in the United States. International listeners, let us know your experience with the Smurfs. Again, we know this was somewhat of a worldwide phenomenon, so it'd be great to hear that. We are going to, in a moment, vote. Before we get to voting, and I explain how voting works, any comments, thoughts, questions, concerns? Christine's concerns were very good ones about the Smurfs as a whole. I'm going to take a drink of beer.
Yeah, I just can't believe that they had 200 episodes of the show.
It was a big hit, and I'm guessing a huge part of it was that they were kind of adorable.
Yeah, for sure.
More so maybe than plot.
It's kind of like the Minions before the Minions, right? Like the 80s Minions.
Yeah, I think that's a fair comparison.
I don't.
Are the Minions blue?
They're yellow.
Yellow.
But as an adult, I would enjoy watching the Minions.
Maybe we need to sit down with our families. We'll get the 12 of us together and watch an episode of the Smurfs and see how it goes over, and we can report back to our listeners.
My kids would last like 3 minutes.
They're running to the hills.
Absolutely.
Pete?
My kids love anything that's on a screen, so they might stick around.
Yeah, we could watch infomercials and my kids would be in. So we got at least a couple of kids. Your kids are getting the hell out of Dodge.
Yeah.
That's fair.
They're sophisticated viewers.
Unless you put it on a tablet, as you suggested.
Any other things before we get to voting, and then see if we have any questions in general before we wrap it up?
I got nothing.
So here's how it works. At the end of the show, we give the song either a thumbs up or a thumbs down. A thumbs down is an I'll be back. Did I say that right?
No, you got it mixed up.
A thumbs up is an I'll be back. And a thumbs down is a...
You're in big trouble, mister.
If it gets 2 of the 3 votes positive, it goes on to our big hits playlist. If it gets 2 or more negative votes, it goes on our bad news playlist. For the record, this is our 7th episode. I didn't mention that. That's one thing I forgot to say. It's our 7th episode. We have yet to have one of our songs make the wall of shame. Let's see what happens today. Now, I have been known as being the softie. So I think I should vote last this week to give it a little bit of drama.
Okay.
All right. Let's start with Ryan. What are you going to give the Smurfs? What are you going to give Hoyn's song, The Smurfs?
Michelle all the way.
You're in big trouble, mister.
Engineer Pete.
I'm conflicted, but I think...
You're in big trouble, mister.
Well, guys, my childhood, I was a big Smurfs fan. And no matter what, this song's going on the wall of shame. But I got to concur, this song's a big piece of shit.
It's
You're in big trouble, mister.
Wow, is this is a monumental
It's a
moment.
first.
This
It's
is
a first.
Our Wall of Shame playlist officially has one song.
man.
And it's a catchy one, too, though.
It's still in my head.
I can understand why it was popular and why they may have settled on using it. It doesn't mean it's good, though.
Do you think Hoyn had been on it? What's his last name?
Never mind.
Come on, I gotta know.
Curtain.
Hoyn Curntyn.
Hoyn Curntyn. Do you think that Hoyn was on a big bender and he was like, oh, shit, I was supposed to write a theme song. And he came to and got up one morning and blasted this thing out.
I think he spent 5 minutes on it. I'm pretty certain of that.
The guy had a knack for melody, but this is a
Correct.
bad song.
Correct.
That's good stuff. To wrap up our episodes, we naturally fall into this sweet spot of 35 minutes. I'm proud of us, guys. Any general questions? These could be hypotheticals or legit questions. Any questions about the Smurfs or the theme song or just 80s television in general?
Well, keeping on the Smurfs and thinking of Smurfland, I'm thinking of like being Papa Smurf. Would you rather be Papa Smurf or would you rather be Gargamel?
I'm a softie for a guy like Papa Smurf. He seems to run a pretty good show. He seems to be generally nice and calm. I'm Papa.
As well, I think the satisfaction of successfully leading your, do we call it a troop, pride, town, a murder of
Village.
Smurfs, a village. Okay, yeah, village probably is the one I should have started with. Leading your village successfully against these attacks versus the frustration
True.
of never successfully
True.
Foiled again.
through 256 episodes, just getting foiled over and over. It wears down on you.
I can imagine. And where did they end it? Does anybody have any idea where they end it?
The show?
Yeah, did they give it some kind of resolution?
No idea. I haven't seen an episode probably
Like the
since
cat,
85.
the cat takes up with the Smurfs and finally gets.
They
runs
all just
Gargamel out
eat
of town.
Gargamel.
Yeah.
That's the last episode.
Just like blood covered faces. Just
That was great. La, 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 la.
Smurf this guy.
That was smurfing great. I do have one question that was sent by a viewer. This is sent by Eric in Washington State. This does not have to do with the Smurfs. Eric asks, if you could make any 80s cartoon live action or any 80s live action show a cartoon,
Oh.
what would you pick with? Don't overthink it. Anybody got one? Don't have to do one of each.
I was going to say G.I. Joe just because the action was pretty ridiculous. The vehicles and the characters and all the flying and shooting and things that happened.
G.I. Joe from cartoon to live action.
Yeah.
Awesome.
I like that. You remember the show Thundercats?
Of course.
Yeah, Thundercats. Think about that being live action.
Yes.
Awesome.
Intense.
I'm going from live action to cartoon. I was thinking Mr. Belvedere would look kind of cool animated. Bob Uecker and the guy who
Awesome.
played Mr. Belvedere, I think they would just be kind of...
Euchre would be a great cartoon.
I could see it almost being a Saturday Night Live
Absolutely.
animation.
Absolutely.
But all right, well, hey, we are just about out of time. Thank you so much for tuning into the Smurfs. Not all the songs can be Three's Company or The Love Boat. Sometimes you get a real shit burger or a Smurf burger. I mean, we got a real pile of Smurf this week, but we're still feeling pretty Smurfy. Thank you for tuning in. I'm John.
I'm Ryan.
And I am Peter.
Thank you for tuning in to the super... Wait, what's... Shit. What's...
Wait.
Super Hoynt 80s podcast friend.
The Super 80s podcast friend, where the towels are hers and his. We'll see you next